Hello everybody, MD Polo here. Thank you for joining me. Today on the table we have the Bersa BP9cc in 9mm. This is an Argentinian made pistol, and the Bersa line is famous for their Bersa Thunders, sort of a Walther PPK knockoff, but also a very popular pistol. And the Bersa BP9cc is their first venture into a polymer frame pistol, as I understand it. This is a very budget-minded pistol, coming in under $400 when it came out in, gosh, 5-7 years ago, somewhere in there. And this has been safety checked. But it's a pistol that, although I purchased it for $250 in this condition, it's a pistol that I think delivers a lot of bang for the buck, pun intended. Getting some specs out of the way as I walk you through it. It's a 9mm, the one you have in front of you, but it also comes in 380 Auto and 40 Smith & Wesson. It has a capacity of 8+1 in the 9mm. It also has 8+1 in the 380 and 6+1 in 40 Smith & Wesson. It comes in a rainbow of colors. You can get a lot of different color combinations. The trigger is perhaps one of the main selling points, and we'll come back to it, but it's got a very short reset and a very easy to pull trigger. The sights on it are 3-dot metal sights, and the rear is a 6-hour dovetailed sight. Let you take a look at it there. So the rears are 6-hour, the front are Glocks. So finding sights to replace it are not going to have a problem. It is a very slim pistol, you can see there, and we'll do a comparison in a couple of minutes. The barrel length is 6.35 inches. I'm sorry, that was the overall length. The overall length is 6.35 inches. The barrel length is 3.3 inches. The width is right under an inch at 0.94 of an inch. The height of the pistol is 4.48 inches. The weight comes in at 20.9 ounces. And when it came out, the MSRP was $429. But as I mentioned, I got it for $250. This particular example was in great shape. The polymer grip really does feel like polymer, but it's very comfortable. It's got some pretty useless ribbing in the back and in the front. It's got nice texture here, but overall it's a pretty slippery frame. This is something that soon is going to be fixed, because the good folks at Talon Grips send me one of their new grips. This is the Pro Series, and it's going to be somewhere in between the sandpaper grip that you're used to and their regular rubber grips. So this is somewhere in between, where it's going to give you lots of grippiness, but it's not going to be too harsh on your skin. So I'm going to be testing this new texture on the Bersa BP9 as well as the Glock 48. But back to the Bersa. So you got very nice serrations, only in the back, but they're very grippy. They're not too sharp, but they definitely do the job. You got a slide stop, slide release that is in the right place. The pistol is very comfortable with a two-handed grip. It's just everything's in the right place. And the frame has this wonderful slide cuts right here, those memory pads that are actually indented into the frame, I'm sorry. You can see it there. And it has it on both sides. So it makes it very comfortable to index your finger, your trigger finger, or your strong hand, your support hand, I'm sorry, over here. Very nice. It's got a positive release. Just flies out of there. Very nice. And the mag release, it has the protection here, but it doesn't interfere. Although you do have to press it hard, it comes out right away. It's got a adequate size trigger guard. Nothing, no serrations or ribbing anywhere. It's got somewhat of a Picatinny rail, a 1913 rails with one slot. And it's got a decent undercut behind the trigger guard. There's no magwell or anything to talk about here. It's got a nice, small but nice beaver tail. You can get really high under the gun. And that's, like I said, it's one of the selling points is how good it feels in the hand. It shoots well. It's an accurate gun for its size. It's not something you're going to go 50, 100 yards unless you're somebody like, gosh, I don't know, Honest Outlaw or somebody like that. But show you the inside. It's very much like a CZ. You see the notches right here and right here. And the problem with mine is that the little notches that you have here, the marks, you're supposed to line them up. Well, if you line them up, it really doesn't work. It doesn't come out. So you need to kind of play with it and figure out exactly where the holes are going to line up. So again, looking at it, the gun is cleared. Fire. Then you eject the mag, turn it around, and the lines, although they're supposed to match, they don't really match. And then you got this little button right up here. Let the focus catch up. And that's what you need to press. And again, here we go. Press that button, and then it comes out. And once it does, you can remove the mag, and the slide just comes right out. So it's something that is supposed to be intuitive, but it really is not in the way it works. So you got the guide rod, which is a captive guide rod, and it is metal. Still reeling in from that disassembly process. You got the barrel. I said I got this used, but it's in pretty decent shape. The feed ramp has a little bit of a polish, but that could be also because of the usage. But it's nice. And taking a look at the inside, this is just the wear and tear that it has. And again, I have no idea how many rounds this pistol may have through it. But there it is. The inside of the Bersa BP9cc. Taking a look at the inside of the frame. Got your rails. So for $250, I think this is a fantastic value. So putting it back together, barrel goes in, guide rod. Oops, it's kind of hard to do this around the tripod. And this is where this one gets interesting, because if you can see how the hole lines, how you have to line the hole so you see daylight there between the two. But if you see the marks in the back, they don't catch up, they don't line up. Now you're supposed to do this to line them up, but if you see now, the holes don't line up right there. So you have to play with it. There it is. So now you grab, it goes in, and now it goes all the way in. You got to make sure it's all the way in. Test for function. And you got the trigger safety, of course. There it is. So while we're talking about the trigger, let's take a look at the trigger here, because it's got one pull. There's absolutely no grit, nothing. And this is smooth, absolutely fantastic smooth trigger there. And you think you hit the wall, but you didn't. Now you go more, there's some grit to there. Let you listen to it again. And then you hit the wall, and now it's going to break. and it is a 3.7, 3.89 pull consistently for this model. There you go, and then listen to this reset. There. Then it breaks again, you're at the wall right away. Boom. So that first trigger pull is the one where you're going to find the grit and the travel there, which acts as your safety, because there's no trigger safety as far as the ding is here. But there we go. Listen to the reset. There. Pulls. Just, it's really nice. And for $250, it's very nice. So like I said, it was accurate. It is light. Now, if we're going to compare it to, here we have the Glock 48, and this one has been safety checked as well. But here we have, so you can see this, the size of it. You can see how thin the Bersa on your right, the Glock on your left. See how thin the Bersa is. And as far as size is concerned, that's about how much shorter the Bersa would be on top than your Glock 48 on the bottom. Let you take a look at it. If I remove the mag from the Bersa now, it'll give you a better idea. They're both unloaded, of course. But 8+1, 10+1, we're not talking about the Shield Arms mag. I don't have a Smith & Wesson, the MMP Shield here, but the Bersa is very similar in size to the Shield. So there you go. Wanted to give you a look at a budget gun that I picked up recently. Very impressed with it so far. It does have its quirks, but for $250, what do you expect? If you have any ideas on the Bersa, do you own it? Have you carried it? What has been your experience with the Bersa BP9cc? And thank you for stopping by. Until the next time, God bless.